Hey, welcome to Compassion Masters TV, where we share our lives because you matter. We're your host. I'm Miss Toy, here with my son Layton.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks again for another episode.
All right, so today, son, we're going to talk about culture. I want to know a little bit about what you think and tell the family about some stuff that I did when I was raising you. I did. Do you remember?
Well,
If you don't,
no, I remember everything. I just don't like culture you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So what I want to know first of all is, do you think it's important for parents to teach their children about culture?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things. I think that we all have, and before I get started, I'm not trying to say that I'm not proud, to be American, because I absolutely am, and I think we're really grateful and fortunate to be in the circumstances that we have. Especially when you see different things around the world, it's sad in some places, and it's not their fault. They just don't have the resources, and we're fortunate to live in a great country. But it doesn't stop there. I think we have to go a lot deeper because, especially in our community, specifically being African American, I think that in some ways it's not fair. At least it feels not fair to me because we have all this, just style, and we're, cool, and people want to be like us and whatever, but we don't even know, where we come from. Really, we don't. A lot of us don't study that. You obviously taught me a lot about that. I had conversations with Dad, and Auntie Jenny would take me places.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with that sense of pride. But it's unfortunate when you have someone who, they have so much more to offer. They have so much more to learn about themselves and their ancestors or their family tree and all this, but they just don't. So I think that for sure it's important. I mean, they talk about, Jadena was talking about in an interview one time, he was saying that when he was going to school, that after school, they would, him and his friends would have basketball practice, use a lot of his black friends, and then his Jewish friends would go to school after they get out of school, and it was learning about the Jewish culture and what they should do and how to become a man and this and that. And then his Chinese friends went to school after they left high school, like literally like they'd go to school from 8 to 2 in the afternoon, and then they'd go to another school, another class later on, and learn about culture and how to keep it business in the family and with your people and all that stuff. So. We don't have any of that. I think it's unfortunate that there's not as much unity as there could be. Hopefully we start to see a shift in where that's changing. But I mean, all in all, I think it's very important that we learn about culture and where we come from. And I mean, you and I just did the African ancestry test. We're gonna get that back to like October-ish. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But even that, we have to take a test to figure out. It's not just, if you're Chinese and like the culture has been so well preserved and in the family, and your history, if your grandfather served in this, like they just know everything about themselves.
Things you could be proud
and I think that's super rad. But for us, it's not always the same. Sometimes, it is, but it's not always the same for us.
You said the word already, pride, and that's pretty much what I feel like learning about the culture does, is it gives you a sense of pride and knowing a little bit more about yourself than just, I was born and I live in Chino Hills. When you were growing up, you also called yourself the Nword. And I feel like that fits into cultural discussion because...
Right, but that wasn't what... Okay.
I know, but I'm correlating it because as a child, you don't think about these things, but as a parent, for me, especially with your father being in prison, I kept really didn't want you to go down that path. So I did a lot of things. I was a little extra, I know, because I didn't want you to go down that same path. So when you called yourself the N-word, what did I do? I didn't tell that story.
Yeah, you did. That's the MySpace story. They already know about this. Anyways, let me tell you this. The short version, because we already told this story again in another episode. But basically what happened, me and a friend were on MySpace when that was a cool thing. And we're having a conversation, and we're just talking, but I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I can tell you exactly what you were talking about.
But it don't even matter. So we're not gonna go into that. But we're talking
Halloween.
about something. Okay, Halloween.
Yeah.
And I used the N word, and she saw it, and it wasn't like hard R. It wasn't supposed to be offensive, whatever. But anyway, she got bent out of shape. And when I came home from school, then she had this YouTube video queued up, and she was like, "Watch this," and she showed me this long thing, whatever, and about history. It wasn't just a random video. It's about history and the history of the N word and what people used to call us, and just the things that were just, I can't even think of a word, like I can't even say it. Horrific.
Lynchings.
Well, yeah, that's the act, but I'm talking about a word to describe it. It was just humiliating and just horrible things. So anyways, from that point on, I never used it just because it just didn't feel right, and it wasn't. It was something that I think that a lot of, well, I'll speak for myself, where it was like you're fitting in and it just rolls off the tongue. It sounds cool. You hear it in music, and it's not supposed to be a big thing. But to some people, it's a big thing, and it became a bigger issue for me when I heard other people saying it around me after that point. So that was the story. She curved that for me to where I didn't want to do that anymore.
Okay. So that was it. I just wanted to say that I hear people mentioning the N word all the time now, and it's a discussion a lot. And I wanted to say to the parents, it's important that we teach our kids, because you don't know. Like you said, you guys were just joking around talking about Halloween costumes or something like that, and it just rolled off your tongue, probably because you heard it somewhere else. I really truly think that people hear it somewhere and they just adapt it.
Dude, everyone, it's not even, it's apparent, it's obvious, it's everywhere. So it's not even like you might come encounter with it or you might hear it. Like, no, it's everywhere on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So
I think it's important that
it's
you
not
know.
no, yeah, for sure, you should know, and then at that point you make your decision if you want to continue using it or not. But yeah, but this isn't culture necessarily. I mean, yeah, it is, but I'm talking more about, so okay, if we're sticking with that, then if we're talking about culture, we're talking about heritage, then you would probably, if you took pride in that anyways, you probably wouldn't want to call yourself the N word at that point. If you were, like I said, when you guys taught me certain things, and I didn't even see myself as that, and even like over the years, I had as issue, not a big issue, but an issue with being called black. Like, it just sounded, first of all, it's not a thing. It's just to group
Color.
us together, make it really easy. Oh, he's black, she's black, whatever. And whenever you hear black, not talking about us as a people, but just the word black, it's always negative. It's always dark. It's always, not a good thing. And so it doesn't make sense to me why are we going to relay that, negative connotation over to us as people?
Right. So it was kind of embarrassing to me when, shout out to you, Tom, for bringing up the discussion. And the whole reason why I correlated the Black Lives Matter thing with culture was because that's how we're being viewed by other cultures. They're seeing what's going on in the news, and they're lumping us into what's happening in the riots, and I was asked about it. So the reason why I brought that up is because people don't understand. It was almost difficult for him to really understand. Well, Toy, if I think such and such deserved it if they were doing some type of behavior. And so for me, I can, being black,
Well, the argument, I want you to hold that thought, but before we get any further than that, I don't agree with anybody who says, unless this is something like, and see, even that, it's weird even saying that. Like, I don't believe that anyone should die
Right.
at the hands of police anyways. Like,
That was the point I was about to make.
So if you're, I mean, we'll take it extreme. If you're a rapist, like, you should be rotting in prison, not just you get to
Right.
die and whatever.
Right.
And even then, it's not the cops' decision to make that anyways. But for sure, you need to, automatically what you're supposed to do is take them away.
Right.
And at that point, then they obviously go through court and they do all the different things they need to
Right.
go through to figure out what's going to happen to them. But too many people dying, and then they bring up police records, and they did this in the past and this and that, and you're defending this person, they did this.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
agree.
And I just threw out, that example just to throw it out there. I'm not saying that there was actual example of some like a rapist getting shot, and I'm defending that. I'm not defending that. But I'm just saying that nobody should be dying at the hands of police, anyways.
I agree with that.
Even if they did do something wrong, they need to be taken and exactly dealt with. So that's how I see it.
So while I was raising you, I never took my mind off the fact that I just wanted to help foster a good individual in society, that you would do good. I never took my mind off that's my goal. No matter what hardship, no matter what we were going through, that was my goal. That I just want to put somebody out good in the world, that somebody's not going to be a problem and drain the system. So I feel like it is important that we learned the colors of the African flag, even though, like you said, it's really not, we're not from Africa. We're kind of in the middle, kind of in.
No, we are. It's just we don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said in the beginning where I don't think it's fair. Like we were robbed of that, and then now we get told if you are from something or if you're not. Like, I mean, I've been told by like not countless. I can't say like all these white people, but different people. Whether like I'm blacker than you or this or like when I speak, then it's not the normal way the way that they want me to, or the way that they see on TV, then it's like you don't sound black. I remember this dude, he was like Pakistani or something, but I used to work with him, and I was talking to a customer and whatever, and then after I finished speaking with the customer, he was talking to someone else, then he's like, Layden, come over here. He's like, dude, we were just like listening to you, and like you don't sound like you don't sound black at all, like blah blah blah, and like it was just the most super insulting, and it was a moment for me because obviously automatically I got mad in my head. I'm not saying I acted out on it, but that was something that upset me. But it was a learning moment for myself, and then a teaching moment for him to like, first of all, don't tell anybody that. I'm glad that it was me because I can handle it in a way when I'm at this point I'm better. I don't need to just get mad. But let me explain why. And so we had this conversation, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, like sorry, like my bad. But I don't know, that happens all the time where people tell you, especially when it's not like like you said, we're not literally coming from over there, over here. And so it's different. They just look at it as like I said, it's just black.
Yeah, it's a stereotype. They're stereotyping us. And that's something that I feel is unfortunate. It's not fair because many of us are good people, and for you to stereotype us with somebody who robbed or rioted, or because I'm grateful for the people who will protest, because those people are willing to stick their neck out and stand up for something. That's just not my calling, and I think we all should know what we're here for. What is our purpose? My purpose is not protesting. I already know, because I don't want to go to jail.
Well, there's different ways to protest. You don't have to literally be on the streets either.
That's a good point.
And going back to what you said about we don't want to just be stuck as people who rob and people who steal and murder and just over demonize. It's strategic. All this was planned. It was made out to be this way, and so we're supposed to look this way to whoever.
But we're better than that.
All we have to do is I don't make it sound easy. All we have to do, but we just have to focus on ourselves, try and be better, and be the person that when somebody thinks about oh, well, my friend doesn't do that, he doesn't steal. We just have to be that person where with the people who know us, they're like, well, that we're the example that they see for the whole, embodiment, which is,
a good example.
It's really, it sucks that we have to carry that on our shoulders, where we have to try and be, the example for the whole culture and for everyone. You think black people, oh, I think Layden, or I think Toy's my friend, and she's not like that. So but it is what it is. I like being able to talk to people about these things, and just be myself. Really, I don't really have to teach them, but just be myself, and then that be, I guess, a teaching moment. And so,
because they see, well, we're all different. Everybody's different, and I'm learning that more, because in every culture, you respect people and just learn that and get to know that person, and then that's how I think the overall image changes. So I don't want to spend a lot of time, because we're not going to change the world with the civil rights conversation in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to instill the fact that it is very important to learn about your culture, to know where you come from, because of it's a sense of pride. And for the parents, your goal is just to mainly turn out somebody that's going to be a good quality person and add to the world, no matter what it is you decide to do. Just a quality person that's not going to take from the world. And so I want to end there unless you have something else you want to say.
No, it's cool. That's
Okay,
cool. I think we got it.
We are going to have a blooper show, you guys. I don't think we got that, that we let you know. Our editor, Anthony Smith, shout out to you. Excellent idea. I'm looking forward to the blooper show. It's kind of our way of celebrating our 10 episodes. It's going to be a little bit past 10, but because we didn't want to correlate it with the deaf episode, but I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be funny. And so I don't want you guys to forget this. I know you can't, but this important election that's coming up, make sure you go vote. And for our videos, like and subscribe. We had good stats last month, but we have to have you guys subscribe and like, because that's what YouTube likes. Right?
Yeah, do all that.
Right.
And make sure you got our new line of phone cases. We just made Compassion Master phone cases.
Whatever. You can purchase
actually,
our items from the
since
store.
We're doing it, might as well buy this book. Where to go? Zoom in. Get that book. Get it. We're doing all
Yeah,
that.
you can buy the book.
Get the book. Get everything.
www.powertripthebook.com.
Slippers. We just came out with that.
Whatever.
We actually got a new line of dog food too. It's pretty fire.
Compassion Masters
your pooch will appreciate the kibble.
And thank you to my son. Turn the camera back to me. I want to thank you.
You're off. We're done.
Thank
We're
you to
out
my
there. No, I'm just kidding.
You ain't right.
All right. Anyways, good night, everybody.